This Vinny Vid production brought to you by Yankee Dabbler. For a 7% discount on your purchases, use code BNSF6951. And by Highways and Byways, awesome graphics for your streets and roads on your model layout. Check it out. Hey guys and gals, welcome back to another Vinny Vid Productions video featuring Vinny Built Structures. Hi, my name is Vinny. I am your host, but I'm also known as BNSF 6951. And then I'm also known as Cousin Vinny. The content you'll see here will be on scratch builds, kit builds, and some kit bashing on model railroad structures. So, if you guys are interested in watching some of these kind of videos, click down here on the icon and subscribe to my channel. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit the bell right next to it. Make sure you do the one with the two little lines on the side so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. With all that being said, come on in, see what I'm doing. Bye for now. Because of my mistake, you guys get to see a time-lapse video in addition to the regular video. You want to see what I'm talking about? Stay tuned and watch the video coming right up. Alright guys, the building you're looking at right now is building number 1 for my sand plumbing industry on my layout. This video is going to show you how I build number 2, because this one, when I recorded it was okay, but the audio was messed up. So I might include the build on this one in a time lapse, and we'll see how it goes from there. Anyhow, we'll be back in a little bit. Alright, there was some stuff in the other video that I mentioned that I want to re-mention again, just so you guys get an idea. This building here, I believe, was probably the second building that was built. The first building will be right here, and it'll have an outside braced sliding door, and this one here will have an overhead door. So with all that being said, we're going to go ahead and start building on this guy, and we'll see how it works out from there. So the first thing I'm going to do is get this guy out of the way, and like I always tell you guys, always sand down your edges, make sure you get good clean edges. And I had already started taking some of the cuts, get some of the cuts done on this, just to expedite the video. And here's my sidewalls, and so we need to cut these out, and we'll go from there. So I'm not going to show you all the cutting. I will just show you how I construct this building, and we'll go from there. So with all that being said, stay tuned and we'll be right back. Alright guys, one of the most important things I tell you all the time is make sure you get rid of all these ridges after your cuts. It is important, and it'll give you a nice clean fit and finish when you're done with it. So I just have, I believe this is number 100 piece of sandpaper, and I'm just going over it very lightly. And the way I test it to see if that ridge is gone is I actually use my fingernail, and I just go like that. And if my fingernail gets caught, then I know the ridge is still there and needs to get sanded down. Now this one, you can hear that, right? So basically this one needs to get sanded down. Now I'm not quite sure if I'm going to cut any doors out on this because of the type of door that's going to be on there. And like I had mentioned in the other video that you guys will not hear because of the audio problem, but sand plumbing is just a few doors down from Smith Pipe and Steel, and they used to get rail service, but for some reason or another, either BNSF or the city of Phoenix decided that they weren't going to do it anymore because it has to cross a major street to get to those industries from the yard. So I guess for safety purposes and traffic purposes, they decided to not get rail service in these two industries here. But on my railroad, it's going to get some of these industries. Alright, so anyhow, I'm going to support these on the bottom because I know I tell you guys all the time that this 1 millimeter is pretty stout, and it would take a lot for it to actually warp. But what I do is I will reinforce it with this number 189, and instead of putting it flat on the building like that, because this can warp just as easily. So like a piece of lumber, I will put it on edge where it's a lot harder for it to warp. So it'll sit on the plastic like that. Anyhow, let's keep on going with this and we'll be back shortly. Alright guys, I kind of figured out what was going on with the audio in the other video. Apparently, I was using the Yeti mic to record, and apparently when you're not talking, it kind of shuts down so you don't get any background noise. And when you start talking again, it's like maybe a millisecond later than actually what you're doing. So what I did was I have changed my microphone. I am using my lapel mic right now, and I think that'll be okay. So now that we got that straightened out, I told you that on this build, let me move some of this junk out of the way, that two things had to happen. No, two things had to happen, like, wow, holy crap, isn't he? Okay, so this side is track side, okay? And then, like I said, the second building will be right here. But what I need to do, also, this will not have a platform like this one. This one will be right out alongside track. But what I need to do is get the doors close to 50 feet apart so I could park 2 boxcars there. So, also, I decided that I wasn't really planning on this, but I am going to cut the front door out on the second building, and I am going to do something a little bit special, I guess you call it that. As I mentioned earlier, on the other building, the building that's going to be here, it has a sliding outside braced door. So, with that being said, I took a piece of the material, let's see if I can get you in there to see it, and I put that diagonal piece on there. Okay, so now it kind of resembles a wooden door, a wooden plank door. Now, I'm going to cut the hole out in the door for a door opening, but I'm going to also make this a sliding door. So these here, top and bottom, are number, hold on, I don't want to give you false information. They are number 261 channel. And I cut the door to fit in the channel, thusly. I don't know why. And then I can have, oops, I went too far. Then I can have myself a sliding door. How's that? Alright, so that being said, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and cut the door opening out, mount my channels, and let's see what that's going to look like. So stay tuned, and we will be right back. Alright guys, as you can see right now, I have my door mounted on my wall, and let's see if it actually works. Oh, look at that! It actually works! I am so really nice little detail right there. Now, for the side walls, this wall here would be out towards the street, so I put a door on there, but it's not going to be operational. It's just going to give the illusion that it's operational. And I remember something when I was there visiting this, and I might have to go back down there to take more pictures, but I think there was a whole bunch of electrical stuff right here, electrical boxes and so on, piping and tubing and all kinds of stuff like that. So that we'll have to see and wait for. Anyhow, I just want you to know that we're moving right along on here, and we're almost ready to start putting this puppy together. So with that being said, we will be back in a moment. Alright guys, what you're looking at is this jig that Roy Hardwick got me about a year ago, and I finally broke it out and said let's try and do something with it. I've never used one of these before. I'm old school. I'll just put it together and scotch tape, put some masking tape on there and hope that it works. Anyhow, I have cut my 4 corner posts out, and so what we're going to do now is we're just going to go ahead and do it. The only thing you need to do is just make sure everything is good and tight, and I use these, they give you all these little extra plates right here, and I just use them to like hold it up straight, basically. I mean, there's enough of them. Let's see, we'll get another one here. We'll put him in there like that, and then we'll put one in here like this. I love this. This is pretty neat. Thank you, Roy. I really do appreciate that, buddy. Anyhow, what we're going to do now is we're just going to make sure our corners are nice and pretty, which they are. This tool does a really nice job. And then we're just going to put some glue on both sides, on 2 sides. And I'm going to be putting the larger of this. This is like, what is this? This is number 187. It's like the bag. I can see the size. Oh, here it is right here. Duh. This is like 125 by 156. That's 125 thousandths by 156 thousandths. So I put the 156 thousandths on the long wall. So basically what I'm just going to do is I am going to hit this up with some glue. Like that. And I got to keep this microphone going so it doesn't go dead on me. So I need to keep talking. Anyhow, we're going to go ahead and stick this guy in the corner. And we're going to make sure the corner is all lined up nice and pretty. And we'll just hold that for a second. And we'll do the same for the front part and for the other side wall. And this will be building number 2 will be completed. Alright, so we're going to let that sit there for a little while before we do anything to it. Got a little height discrepancy right there. It's not much. I can file that down. I won't have a problem with that. Alright, so we're just going to let that sit there like that for a couple of minutes. And then we'll come back and do the rest of the other 2 walls, and let's see what this puppy's going to look like. So with that being said, we'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm really liking this jig right here that Mr. Roy Hardwick gave me about a year ago. Roy, so if you're watching this, thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. It sure did make this building come out and the other building come out really cool. Anyhow, we're going to put this on the side right now. And what we're going to do is we're going to start adding some of the other stuff that we need to add. For instance, these are the supports for the walls, and they will go at the bottom. And I told you I was going to lay them on edge. Alright guys, unfortunately I had a phone call, so I had to stop the previous video. Anyhow, as we're going to continue on, we're going to put these supports inside the building. And by the way, I'm telling you, that tool actually really did a good job. And I want to just see one thing here. Usually when I do a build, I will measure like a carpenter would from corner to corner and see what I have. I don't know if you guys are going to see this, but I have about, let me get that without pushing on it. I have about 175 millimeters from that corner to that corner. And let's see what we have here. And here we have, holy mackerel, 175 millimeters. I guess this building is square. Anyhow, I'm just trying to have some fun with this video since the other one got all screwed up. Yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and lay some of this adhesive down here. Maybe, if it wants to come out. I think it's plugged because I had it open a long time today. So we'll have to unplug it a bit. Just stick your needle in there. Like that. You just give it a little ups and downs a little bit. And it should be clean now. And looky there. Alright. All right, we'll take the first one, and what I'm going to do is just lay it down on here so it's flat, and put my support in there. And I'm putting these supports in here because I think I'm going to have this on a base where I can lift the whole entire scene out of the layout if I wanted to work on it. So that's why I did that. And also I want to show you another thing here. I did put the side door in, but I didn't cut a hole, but I also did not glue the door in, so I could always have the option of putting a hole in the door here. So with that being said, I am going to go off camera and get this done, and we'll see how that's going to look in a little bit. So stay tuned and we'll be back shortly. Alright guys, I almost forgot to tell you what product we're going to be using. So for the supports, I'm going to be using this number 189. And then the next step we're going to do is we're going to put some outside corners on here. Even though the corners are perfectly cool, we're going to use this number 293 angle. And then finally what we're going to use to get the illusion of a foundation on here is we're going to use this number 149. So with all that being said, let's continue on. So the next step is, as you can see, I've got all the supports down there. And let me back this out a bit. There you go. And move that out of the way. Alright. Anyhow, so the next step we're going to do is we're going to put these corner pieces on. I already have them cut out. And very simple operation. Uh-oh, my door fell out. That's alright, no problem. So, we just take this guy like this, and we will fill him up with glue. Like that. And then we'll take him and just put him on the corner. And to me, it just kind of finishes off. And if you look at a lot of houses and buildings, they do have this corner piece on there. It kind of finishes off the corner, so you don't see the bare edges of whatever material they're using. And so that's one of the reasons why I do it, is to try and copy that. So let's see. I didn't want this video to be this long, but because it screwed up on me on the first part, I will see if I'm going to add it or not. I'm not 100% sure yet. They would make this. They'd probably make this video over. Maybe not. Uh-oh, come back at you. I wonder if the microphone's picking up that dog barking. I had my slider open, and there's one of the neighbor's dogs barking out there. I'm just trying to get used to this microphone, what it can and cannot do, because that was the reason why this first video got screwed up. Now look at that, we got to stop for that. How cool. Alright, anyhow, I'm going to let that dry up, and then we'll come back and we'll go ahead and do the foundation part. So talk to you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, now my corner pieces are all dry, so now what I'll do is I'll lay it on its edge like that, and I will follow the contour of the roof pitch and put my blade right up against there and just snip it off. You saw how far that snipped off, way over here on my computer. Alright, and then we'll do the same thing on all four corners. Alright, now that we have that all squared away, the next project is going to be is to put our make-believe foundation on here. And as you can see, my door slid off, and I'll just keep it off for now because it'll just keep sliding off. That's the side door right there. Anyhow, let's start. I already had these pre-cut to fit in between the corner pieces that we did. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And again, we're just going to apply our glue right to the model. Sound like a goose or something, a geese. All right. There we go. How pretty that looks. All right. Okie dokie. Now after I get this done, I will put the buildings in place on my layout and I will show you exactly where it's going to go. So I hope you guys would like to see that. It's been quite a while since I've shown this part of my layout. So, all right. Now the foundation is probably going to get a different color than the building, and you'll say, well, why are you putting it on there now? Why don't you paint it first? Well, this is easy enough for me to mask off, and it's just easier for me to hold and all that kind of good stuff. And I want to see if I can find my airbrushes, because I did buy this compressor, and I want to see how it works. All right, this is the last piece going on here. Don't be afraid to use the glue, guys. Alrighty then. So, get that last piece in there. And you know what? Other than the roof, this building is finished. And I will show you guys, I don't know if I'll show it in this video, but I may do a second video on this. I wanted to keep this as one video, but because of the screw up, I need to do 2 videos. Alright, anyhow, so this is my track side right here. Let me plug up my my glue so it don't get hard on me again. And I'll bring the other building off over. And I didn't finish the other building yet. I still got to do the same thing I just did on this with the foundation pieces. I have to do it on that building also. And so let's see. Alright, so now, like I said earlier, this is going to go, this building will go right up against trackside, and this building will be back with the platform. So basically, that's how it's going to look when it's on my layout. So, with that being said, let's take the camera out to the layout, and let me show you the position that this is going to be in, and we'll go from there. And we'll probably call it quits on this video at that point. So, stay tuned and we'll be right back. Alright guys, I thought as long as I was going to be in this room with the camera that I would just give you an overall view of the street that I am working on. The street that you see in front of you right there is called North 19th Avenue, and the blue building there is called 2N Irrigation Supply, and Roy Hardwick, Container Man 68, delivers there quite often, and that's when he comes to visit me, is when he delivers to that particular industry. Anyhow, right next to it we have the I-10 freeway. You can see that it looks like there's a major collision up there. I was debating on whether or not I should put that in there, because it's actually in the wrong place. All of these, this whole street and stuff is all not 100% correct. I had to do the best I could with the room that I had. So anyhow, as we move on down the street, we have Smith Pipe and Steel. Now that's a pretty big industry right there. And like I told you guys earlier, that they used to get rail service, but because that street right there, North 19th Avenue, is 6 lanes, I guess the city decided, no, we don't want to do a crossing there, because that 19th Avenue is a major route north and south. Alright, so as we move on down the street, then we got Heavy Equipment Repair Center. And that is prototypical. The building is not prototypical, but the business is. Now, well, the bills that I just did are right there. And let's see if we can get a little better shot. And as you can see, the building that is closest to us is the one with the platform. And again, the truck loading and unloading zone, that's not prototypical at all. But it's my railroad. Anyhow, this I believe that the furthest building was the first building when they first opened their business here in Phoenix, because you could see it looks a lot older than the one that's next to it. And then in the back, somewhere in the back, I have to figure out how to get an office back there, because there's not very much room. Well, yeah, you see all the bare plywood there, but that's all property that's got to be shared with that heavy equipment repair center. Anyhow, with all of that being said, let me give you one overview of the yard. And then we will move on to the time lapse of the screw up video. And this is called Mobest Yard. And it is pretty prototypical as far as how many yard tracks there are and so on and so forth. And it goes on out and so on down the line. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this this video. And as always, your questions, comments, input, subs, shares, and likes are always welcome. For now, that's all, folks. BNSF 6951 and Cousin Vinny out for now.